Located in Newcastle, New South Wales, Australia.
Yeah, sunny Newcastle.
Sunny Newcastle. So today is September 1st, 2025. It's 9 degrees Celsius outside, which is 48 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's not exactly a warm day for the first day of our spring. Our seasons all start on the first of the month, unlike overseas where they start different times toward the end of the month. So we've been busy as usual, but over about the last 2 weeks, both Graham and myself have been unwell.
And Kyle?
Oh, you don't worry about him.
No, I thought, yeah.
We've had some sort of, like, not a flu, but like a respiratory
I thought it was goat flu.
type thing. Yeah, well, Spanky's been down and out too. So we haven't really made any YouTube videos, or we've just been coming in, pottering around, and not being really right
Still getting stuff done.
into it. Yeah, getting a little bit done. So over my shoulder here, you can see Oxo. That's all ready to go back to the owner. Matter of fact, he rang me up on Friday night when I was at the pub. Goodness me, disturbing me when I'm at the pub, to see where it was up to, and I told him we were very close to finishing it. So we actually finished that on Saturday morning. It's had the ball count units done. We did a video on it anyway. Have a look at the video, you'll see what we did to it. And we wired up, well, it already had a, when it was first came to Graham, it didn't have a replay unit in it. He put one in and was going to wire it up, but the bloke wanted it so bad he didn't care. So now it's got a replay unit in it. The knocker works, and all that was a little bit of fiddling around because all the wiring had been hacked, and we had to trace it out in the schematic, and I guess stuff you can live without. But anyway, we thought we'd do it. Nothing worse than getting a replay.
Yeah,
and
nothing happens.
Nothing happens, yeah. So that's all done now. And I guess we'll call the guy up a little later today and tell him he can come pick it up. Only one little thing with it, it's got a broken Jones plug snapped in half. We sort of glued that up to try and improve it because that was giving us trouble where it was broken. The pin wasn't sitting in real good, and you wouldn't believe it. The wire that was broken was the wire that completed the circuit to player 2 match. So we weren't getting a match on player 2, but should be okay now. We got a Pioneer came in. I think we've mentioned this in one of our Facebook lives the other day. That's going to get the cabinet all redone and stenciled, so a whole lot of work on it. We'll do the mechanicals of it, just a matter of pulling it apart and giving it to the guy that does it for us.
Yeah.
There's no great rush for it, so I can't see us doing that probably now.
It'll be after Pinfest now.
Till after our Pinfest. So our Pinball Festival's on this month, so now 20th of September.
Yep, and our machines are ready to go.
Yeah, we've got a Klondike going in it. We had hoped to have had our lightning ball, but there's been a few dramas and delays with that, and we were sent pictures of the completed playfield the other day, and it looks very, very nice. So the clear coat's got a cure, and the guy recommends that it cures over several weeks. So
it might be here next Thursday. This Thursday coming.
Right.
But I've still got to do a lot of things to get it ready to.
Oh, yeah, it just won't happen.
There's no great hurry. We can let it cure.
I think, well, what we'll do with that one after Pinfest, we'll make it our
priority.
Our priority to get it done.
Yeah.
We keep saying it because that was donated to us by a guy. I've mentioned this before. He lives 100 mile away from us, and he just rang Graham up and said one day, "Listen, I got this machine. Do you want it?" And at first, Graham was a bit hesitant because it was a wood rail, and we didn't have a lot of room or time at that time. We hadn't done the alterations to the shed, and then the guy said he was going to chuck it out, and we said, oh no, please don't do that. And he said, well, if you can come and get it as soon as possible, that would be great.
Well, then
and
we went up the next day, didn't we?
yeah, I think that was a Saturday morning, and we drove up on the Sunday up north of here, northwest a little bit. So that's how that came about, and the guy's really keen. He messages to see how it's going.
Every time he's at Pinfest, he bails us up, which
Yeah.
is fair enough, because,
Yeah, we had hoped to have had it done, like, we've probably had it now 3 years.
But if he's at Pinfest, we'll see if he wants to come out and have a look at the progress.
Of course.
Yeah, I think he'd be happy with it.
So that'll be happening. The other job we've got to do, it was only delivered to us on Saturday, just gone, is Quick Draw. Yeah, the playfield's not in real good condition.
Yeah.
The whole machine's not real good, but
I've known this machine for 25 odd years, that I fixed years ago.
yeah, the chime bars in it are black.
Which is what I painted.
You painted them.
Yeah, and a lot of people might think this strange, is that when I actually sold, it didn't have chimes in it, and I managed to make a set out of my junk box, and the chime bars were so rusted, the buggery, that I couldn't do much else about it except bloody paint them. And it's better than nothing, and it looked okay. And like, he wasn't happy with the price. I was charging $70 for a set of chimes. $70. Imagine buying chimes now for $70. Amazing.
Well, here in Australia at the moment, a set of chimes which is in good condition, all working, and everything going between about $300 to $400.
Yeah.
There is a guy in Germany. I think he's an expat American. I can't remember the name of his company, but he makes them, and we've actually seen them and fitted some for people. They don't look anything like the original Gottlieb chimes, but he makes them for all the. I think they're the same for all the machines. He just puts the respective coils in them.
They do sound okay.
Yeah, they don't. We put one in a Surfer
We did, yeah.
for Ross that time,
yeah.
and
they're okay.
and I think there's another guy, but who knows? I mean, you got to wonder what happens to the chimes, haven't you? Why they're missing. We know in Germany that they didn't have chimes. I think it was for different reasons there.
Yeah.
In their games.
It was mainly for the noise, because a lot of the machines are in cafes and restaurants and things. And
Yeah.
They didn't want the ding-dings annoying the patrons.
Yeah. We had a card whiz in here, and we got the guy to come, and we were going to go through it, but when we opened up the machine, it was a bit of a mess, wasn't it?
Oh, it was terrible. There've been hacks everywhere, new wires everywhere, and the whole wiring harness was was undone. And so you could see people had been at it before, but it was just so many hacks in it that we could have done it. It's not a problem there. It's just that by the time that we got it done, it would have took us probably 2 to 3 times the normal amount of time as what just to do a normal pinning machine, and we can't justify the time, because we've got over half a dozen in the list to do that we know of, and more people ringing every day, so we can't spend too much time on the one machine when we know that there's just so much work in it. And so we put that aside, and honestly, even if I owned the machine, I think I would have wrecked it myself. Of course, we told the guy the amount of money he's going to spend on it, he could have bought the same machine, a card whiz, a lot better for cheaper, and then started that. And so I think he realised the problem, and he said he's just going to tinker with it himself, but we'll see how he goes. Yeah,
indeed. It's really the time. I mean, if that was 5 years ago or so when we weren't as busy, we might say, well, okay, we'll devote the time to it, but we just haven't got the time. This quick draw that came in the other day, the guy's been sort of onto us for several months, and I think he was horrified when Graham mentioned to him that we'd be a little while doing it, and the guy said, how long? And we said, well, 3 months, and the guy nearly fell over backwards, because Graham done him 20 years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, when I used to service his machines over 20 years ago, he'd ring up and I'll be there that day or early the next day.
So things have changed. We've also got an abracadabra to come in. Once again, that'll be after Pinfest, and hit the deck. Gottlieb hit the deck. So.
Oh, we got a flipper card too.
A flipper card, that's right. Oh, and we might have an Atlantis. We just got an email over the weekend where a guy wants an Atlantis repaired. So it never ends.
We had a didn't we have a hit the deck as well coming in?
Yeah, I mentioned that just then. Yeah.
Oh, and plus dropper cards playful we've got to put back together.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
So as you can see, we've got plenty of work. Through the week, we received a shipment from PBR. So we ordered quite a lot of parts. But the horrifying thing about it is the invoice total US dollars came to $666.96. The shipping in that order was $105.10 US. Now, you guys in the States will be, you're probably used to paying some of that. Well, shipping, obviously nowhere near as expensive as that. But to us in Australia, that's $161 Australian. So it costs a ton of money. But we had to get stuff, like we just bought these coils, 9736 and 9738, half a dozen each of them. They burn out all the time in the Jungle Queens.
We're going through them like anything.
All the big door machines. Just little things. We had Gottlieb mini flipper kit, contact grease. We bought a couple of adjuster tools, barrel compression springs, flipper switches. They're dear. They're $8.92 each.
Yeah.
And spring kits for both Gottlieb and Williams. The coils, bunch of coil sleeves, about 200, 20, 40, no, 200 coil sleeves. The plastic plate things that go under the kicker holes in the later model machines. Coil stop brackets that break on the
steppers.
On the steppers on the later models. Rubber grommets for the back of the drop targets. 3-inch flipper islands. They're only $2.25 each, but there's $40.60. We bought 20. We bought a couple of the shoulder screws because people buy them off us, just in case we break one. The hairpin clips that go in the relays. We bought some the nails for the side rails. Yep. We bought 100 of them. So it all adds up. So all up in Australian dollars for our entire order, now you're sitting down, it was $974.64 Australian. So yeah, things are expensive. But without people like the Pinball resource, we'd all be lost. So it's very, very, very important that we all support them. Very important. We want him to go on as long as he possibly can.
Yes.
Oh, Mr. Steve Young from the Pinball resource. And he's a good guy. I've met him 3 times now, and he did something for me just recently. And hopefully that's going to come to fruition soon. I won't tell you what it is. It's probably not appropriate at this point in time. But we had a discussion about a part that wears. And that particular part looks like it may be going to be made available, which it currently isn't. And that will save many, many more Gottlieb machines. Right, now let's talk about something that people have been asking about for a long time. The goat shed sign, like you've got there in front of you now. Well, the long and the short of it is we've been investigating this for quite some time now. We were probably over a year. Anyway, last week we were given some other signs, like the shape of a number plate, but they were 60 centimetres long.
By 20.
By 20. We thought, they don't look too bad, because we can't get any of these ones anymore. We cannot get them. Not that we've been able to find. And quite frankly, we're getting a bit tired of chasing them up, chasing people up. It's just, we've said this 1,000 times, we're not a business, we're just hobbyists. We had those signs originally made in 2022. I took some over to the States. Some people bought them off us. That was great. We had 100. The one you're looking at now is the only one left in captivity. So we got rid of 99, but we can't get any more. They're no longer, the company that made them, the guy we got them off, he said they're just too hard to deal with. And he's been screwed over a fair bit. The other ones he gave us as the sample, we've given it back to him now, the 60 centimetre ones. The shipping alone to the United States was about 47 Australian dollars. It's
horrendous.
Plus plus the cost of the sign would have been about $25. So it's just not worth it. And because these signs are made in China, when I went to Australia Post to inquire about it, they told me that there may be a tariff put on by the American government because of where they're made. So I'm sorry, anyone that was expecting the signs, they're probably not going to happen. We're going to be talking next week to the guy about the merchandise we previously showed you in a live Facebook broadcast there.
He can make the signs, but they're going to be a deer as well.
Yeah, they're going to be horrendously dear. We'll have a chat to him about it. But they will be expensive And I think, what we're selling those signs for, Graham? I think...
well, we were selling these, weren't we? These are only $25 or something.
I can't remember, yeah. Okay, so I'm sorry about that, people. That's the story with the signs. I know a few people may be disappointed, but...
But we're going to see the guy probably next Thursday to work out a few things.
Rightio.
So we get the merch store happening.
Yeah. So once again, we'll make an announcement about that so that everyone's on top of it. A little later on this morning, we're going to have a look at a Gottlieb Bronco. We're going on a little field trip. We had this in earlier this year, and something's happened to it. Now, normally we wouldn't go out and look at a machine, but we feel that...
Yeah, we know the game.
It hasn't... it's failed, in a very short period of time, which is very unusual. I mean, we don't know what the customer's given us a description, but I think everyone knows that how people describe things quite often isn't the case. Literally, or essentially, the machine won't start. So
it's in reset all the time.
We have no idea what it is.
It's going to be something basic.
Well, yes, hopefully.
I think so.
Hopefully. Yeah, we just went through the whole machine. So that's sort of doesn't happen to us very often, but anyway, it's happened, so we'll go and find out what's wrong with it. Now, there's a few, we mentioned the Pinfest event that's coming up. We'll do a live, or probably won't do a live broadcast from there because the Wi-Fi is pretty crappy.
Yeah.
So I'll record it and post it that day. That'll be probably on the Saturday morning, so that'll be the Friday afternoon for you guys in the States.
I think we've got nearly 20 EMs this year, haven't we?
Yeah, there's 19 electromechanical machines there.
So that should be good. It's probably the most we've ever had.
Yeah. I think the record was 20, but 19's a pretty good effort this time.
Yeah.
So once we get that over and done with, as I said, we'll be doing Lightning Ball and hopefully get into a few other projects. The next game we're going to start when we get rid of OXO that'll replace it will be Quick Draw, and get stuck into that. So we'll probably do a video on Quick Draw.
It's got those unique drop targets.
Oh, yeah. Well, we've done a video on the way they work.
Yeah. But we'll just have a quick over-under to show people that haven't seen it before.
They're interesting. They've got two coils on them. They've got a name too. I can never remember the name, but they only used it on Quick Draw, Fast Draw, and I think we discovered another game they used it on.
Oh, there was Jack's Open.
Okay. And when we get Spinner Card in, my good friend Will White has suggested we do a video on how the spinner operates the backglass animation and the speed it can go at. So we had what was the one we did and got sold there recently? We didn't hear about a year or more ago.
That was spinner card.
Was that spinner card?
Yeah. And Gary's new one's got the same thing, the flipper card.
Oh, flipper card. That's the one. Yeah, we'll have a flipper card here, not a spinner card.
Yeah.
There's three in that series.
Well, we done two spinner cards last year.
Yeah.
And flipper card is going.
And remember the spinner card had the worn cam edge, cam lip.
Yeah, and I.
And you had a brand new one. How good was that?
Yeah.
But they could be made by 3D printing.
But I think this flipper card, the playful's getting restored.
It is, yeah. Yeah, righto. Yeah.
But we can do the mechanics of it anyway.
Yeah, so in the eastern states and the USA now, it's almost 20 past 6 in the evening. And on Friday, just gone, your time, around about this time, we were doing a Fun with Pinball with Mark Gibson. So we had that, and what did we have this time? We had a ship ahoy where a guy had some problems, and one of the problems he had was with his outhole switch. He had the strengthener touching or shorting the switch out occasionally. It was that close, and the vibratory effort was...
That's a common problem.
Yeah, giving two balls. We've spoken about this many times. Where's my notes? What else do we have? Because I had to disappear for a little while because we had the guy brought the quick draw in. Oh, dear. Yeah, so that was that. And we had a super spin where there was a question about it. The guy thought it wasn't scoring right, but he just wasn't reading the playfield right. The roto target scoring, how it worked, he was a bit confused by that. And they were we were supposed to have a target pool where the guy didn't show up. I mean, and people, that's a personal annoyance of mine. 3 or 4 or 5 coaches give their time for free and people book in to come to the courses and they don't show up. Now, that's just damn rude. So I'm sorry about that. Just there's no other way it is. We all give our time for free. And, and we even prepare. Like Mark gets all the schematics out before this happens and makes notes and everything. And, the guy doesn't show up. Now, he may have apologised, I don't know. But, yeah, it's a bit annoying when people do that. I guess that's human nature, isn't it? I think we've found in this pinball game a lot of people don't appreciate what gets done for them. Anyhow, that's just my pet gripe. So, that was a reasonably short clinic. I think it had ended by about 11 a.m. So they can go 3 and 4 hours, those clinics, when we've got a lot of machines. Yeah. Now, we've had people from Germany join us, and normally in US time when they're up, it's midnight in Munich. Hey, that rhymes, midnight in Munich. We'll make a movie about that. We haven't had anyone really say hello to us. Well, what's going on? Is it a public holiday? Is it Labor Day in the United States at the moment? Something like that, or tomorrow, or... I thought I read something about a public holiday. Maybe, maybe not. Anyone want to tell us any projects they've got going or happening at the moment? You're more than welcome to do so. We normally do these... over, like it normally happens to you in America, or on a Friday or a Saturday, these live broadcasts, but I guess it's Sunday over there now, Sunday evening. So maybe a lot of people are out and about or enjoying dinner or something.
And the Sunday roast.
Oh, well, yeah, they could be. So let's think it's, just after almost 6:30 on the East Coast, and come across. It's only 3:30 on the West Coast. Here's Bobby Six working on a Toledo.
Toledo, great game.
Which is the what? Is that the 2-player or the?
No, the 4 plays Valencia.
Okay, and that
2 plays the Toledo.
2-player, right?
Yeah.
Which is the one we don't see many of? The Valencia.
Yeah, Valencia. Well, we've had one here.
Yeah, we have. Yeah.
But we haven't had a Toledo here.
Okay.
But there was a few of them around when I was a kid. It was a very, very pretty game and a great game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2-player. Yeah, Bobby. Yeah. I always get confused with them. We haven't had a Toledo here in the goat shed, but we have had a Valencia. Now they're fairly rare to see, and that guy lives about 100 mile north of us, and he brought it in, and a fair few years ago now, and
We actually put it in the pin fest.
they're the ones with the flipper buttons as targets, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I like that, yeah.
Great rules also. Yes, yeah, these are good.
We actually had to dig up bloody about 3 or 4 out of the junk box because some were missing on the one that we fished.
That's right, they were, weren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, well, that's great. And anyone else out there got anything they're working on at present? Let us know. Be interactive in these. This is why we do it. It's not all about us. It's all about you, our viewers. And please, viewers, please tell us if there's anything specific you want to see in our videos. Not necessarily specific to a game, because we may not be able to accommodate a game, but all games work very similarly. So is there anything we haven't done? We are thinking about doing one on flipper wiring. Now, that may be beneficial to some, I don't know. It's really hard to know what people want to see. So that's why we rely on you, our viewers, letting us know.
Yes.
So over the last 12 months or more, we had one guy suggest, why don't you do one on what makes the score motor run continuously besides the score reels? Well, we've done that. We've done that about a year and a half ago now. We all need to learn how to read schematics better. Now, one thing that we can talk about with schematics, and the way I was shown by a guy, let's take Gottlieb schematics. If you're wondering why the special light doesn't come on, for argument's sake, look at the left-hand side of the Gottlieb schematic and find where the special light is, and look at that part of the circuit. And that will indicate to you the power from one side to the other, the special lamp in there somewhere, and then it might have a relay and a switch in there. And that switch might possibly be the fault besides a blown globe. And once again, we were talking about this in Fun with Pinball just the other morning or evening in America. There's a guy called John Robertson. Now, he runs the site flippers.com. He's in Canada. John, about maybe 4 years back, maybe even 5, done a video called Schematics 101. And he goes through a Williams schematic on the whole startup procedure and breaks the schematic down. That's a really good one to watch. I mean, it goes for just on an hour. So be prepared, grab a beer, grab a coffee or whatever you want to do and watch that. Probably watch it twice and you'll get a bit of an understanding. Another guy that's done them is David Valansky. Now, David's one of the coaches on Fun with Pinball, and he's also a volunteer at the Pacific Pinball Museum in Alameda. He's done a couple on schematics as well. One on his own. He did one with Mark Gibson where they actually built the circuit of a score reel up using alligator clips. That's a pretty good one. That one would be on the Fun with Pinball website. So Mark Gibson makes the interactive displays that he takes around the country. And on his website, you'll find a lot of resources of different things. So I recommend anybody that's interested in stuff to learn goes and has a look at Mark's site. You'll find how we were talking earlier on about flipper card, spinner card. You'll find a video on how that spinner mechanism works. You know, we've done a video on that as well. You'll find that video I just mentioned where he and David build up a score reel circuit, and then they'll unclip things to show you how everything works. That's really cool. Mark also did a video on how Gottlieb do what we call a blocking or masking circuit. So that's where a certain target, like take some of the earlier Gottlieb games, you know, or even some of the later ones, you could have a target and hit it, and depending what lights are on, think about Crosstown or Subway, the old Gottlieb Wedgehead game. Running right up the guts of the centre, they've got a red and a yellow light, and you can light up 30 points, 50 points when you align the lights, specials and different scoring. How does the machine achieve that? It hits a target. It's just one target. Well, it's done by motor switches, and it's called a blocking or masking circuit. That's how it's done. So he explains all that. So there's some really, really, really good resources out there. We were also talking about books. Now, everyone in the clinic agreed that the book by a Dutch guy called Hank de Jager, I hope that's how he pronounces it, wrote a very good book, but it's very deep. I bought this book when I first got into pinball, even before I met Graham, I think, and I started reading this book, and I found that it was complex. So it is very, very deep. There's a couple of books by Williams and Bally. They're available free for download off Mark Gibson's site. So he has those. Have a look at them. What else can we get? There's a guy called Bear Kamaroff. He's written a book. I bought. I think it's on the second. What do you call it? Production. What do they call it, Graham? When you book
the second run?
Yeah, second run. Yeah. I bought that book. I must be honest. I haven't even opened it. I like to have a look at it. And of course, there's the old Gottlieb A5 size service manual, which is out of print now. We were talking about that earlier on, and we believe Pinball Resource had it. Obviously, there was some stock years ago, and he doesn't have them anymore, and it's out of print. That's a good book, but once again, it doesn't show any diagrams or anything, pictures or anything. It's just all text, and you know, unless you have an intimate knowledge of the machine, it may be difficult to decipher. But one great thing in it, it tells you what every stack in the score motor does and what every switch bank does, you know, what motor 2B switch does, what motor 1C switch does, what motor 3A or 3B does or 4A does. Generally no 3A. So they're good resources, you know, for people that haven't got them. Now, another video that Graham and I thought we'd do, Graham just mentioned it again the other day, and we may do this with Quick Draw. We may show you where what we do to assess a machine and then how we go about repairing it. So essentially, we get the machine in off the customer, we load it in, we put it on our trolley, we take the glass off, raise the playfield, and the first thing we do is have a look at the playfield. Any broken plastics, yes or no? Any, obviously always needs re-rubbering. Yep. Anything else broken, targets, missing, whatever.
We usually put new skirts in every game we get.
Yep. And then we have a look under the playfield, and then we have a look at the score motor. Now, we mentioned this card whiz the other day. We didn't do that when this machine came in. And we found out, didn't we, the hard way, that it wasn't in good condition. So we try and do that, and then what we do, we have a look in the head, we operate, if it's a multiplayer game, we operate the player unit, the replay unit, the match unit, and see if they're all working, but they all get gone through anyway. So we'll probably do a video on what we do there with that. That may help people.
Yep.
But if there's anything specific that anyone wants to know, like I said, please ask us. Now, what was just said there, Where are we? Chat or messages are visible. Oh, okay. So you're looking at your crosstown right now. The score motor is where you get confused. Okay, Bobby. I don't know. I haven't seen you. Are you new to our channel? Perhaps you are. Perhaps you aren't. We did a video about 3 years ago now, and just go into our channel and use the magnifying glass. It's called Demystifying Score Motors. Now, yeah, okay, well, welcome. So if you go and have a look at Demystifying Score Motors, we give you a whole breakdown on the score motor functionality and all the switch stacks and how they're named and their nomenclature and everything like that. I think it's just over half an hour, so have a look at that. We have well over 300 videos. Most of them are to do with repairs. There are some to do with when I go over to the States and
some shows.
Go to the shows and, like Chicago and York and Pastimes Arcade and
we try to keep them interesting.
And that. So we've done them on our own Pinfest. We mentioned earlier we'll do another one. So
we done a live feed from Tassie, didn't we, or something?
Yeah. And Bobby, if you're not in our Facebook group, we recommend you join our Facebook group, which is called the Goat Shed EM Pinball Repair Specialists. I know some people aren't on Facebook, but it's a good idea. That's where a lot of the resources are. I know there's Pinside. We, here in the shed, we don't go on Pinside. And we just got our Facebook group. So the two main Facebook groups for electromechanical pinball is the original, it's just called EM Pinball, but you've got to be invited into that group by a member now, because they've sort of got over 7,000 members. We've got over 5,000, but if you want to join our group, you must answer the 3 questions to join. So Bobby, are you already a member of the group? Yes or no? Maybe you don't want to join. I don't blame you. We're Australians.
Yeah.
And we love goats. There's something wrong with us, isn't there?
Yes.
Where's Spanky?
He's here.
All right, well, consider to join Bobby then. It's simple enough to do. Just answer the questions. There's Spanky, our goat. If you've not met him before, Bobby, he's been to America.
He's been everywhere.
He always drinks beers, and his favourite beer is Yangling.
He loves the women.
When he's in the PA area. Yeah, we've got to keep him away from women. We won't talk about that. He may be banned from America now. Yeah.
Did anyone listen to our podcast we've got the other day?
Oh, yeah. So in our Facebook group, well, you tell them, Gray.
Well, in our Facebook group, what happened, we had to deliver a pinball machine to 70s and 80s pop star John Paul Young, going back a couple of months.
Love is in the air.
Love was in the air that day, I tell you. And it needed a few bits of work to it, a little bit of work. So we come back the following week and spent the whole day there, basically about 3 to 4 hours. And then out of the blue, he wanted to know if he could interview us for his podcast. He does podcasts for the Australian Men's Shed Foundation, and it's a really good group to be in. If anyone knows about men's sheds in Australia, it helps a lot of men, a lot of retired men that are either they're divorced or they're widowed, or they just want to get away from the wife for a couple of hours during the week. And it's a really good organisation. It helps men's health. And anyway, so we done he come around the goat shed, and he was absolutely amazed with the stuff that we got. He played a few pennies and loved it. And then he was here with his son, a very nice person, Danny. And then they interviewed myself, Kim and Kyle. And it doesn't go for very long, 20 odd minutes or so, Kim? Or
16 minutes.
16 minutes. And he does about 4 interviews of other different groups and people. One was an MP or something, and other men's sheds and whatever. And it went down really well. So the link there is on our Facebook page, and it roughly starts around about the 12-minute mark, but we do get a bit of a mention at the start of the podcast as well. So it's worth a listen if anyone wants to have a listen to it. Well, we think it went very well, and it explains a bit of how Kim and me and myself and Kyle got into pinball machine. Talks about what we do in the goat shed and a few things, and a bit of nostalgia about what we do with other people. And we encourage anyone to have a listen to it, and we also encourage anyone that are in the area to come around and have a chat to us in the goat shed, and maybe you might get interested in the hobby more. So the more the better. And so hopefully later on we could do a actual YouTube interview with John to see talk about his relationship with pinball machines and his music, of course, as well. So that could be interesting. But we just got to line it up, sort of thing. But very nice bloke, and he's looking really good actually at the.
Yeah. So yeah, that was interesting. We've been interviewed twice now in the last year and a half. We did another young fellow. His name's Jacob. He runs a Facebook site called
Our Past.
Our Past, and he came round.
No, it's a YouTube channel.
YouTube, I meant to say, yeah, YouTube channel. Our Past.
It's worth looking. And it's got a lot of other interesting things as well.
And he did one on us. Also on our YouTube channel, we have a one we recorded for Expo in Chicago in 2022.
Yes.
It's called This Is Where We Live. And what we do, we start, if anyone's interested where we come from in the city of Newcastle, it's a bit complicated actually. We always say we live in Newcastle, but we actually live Graham lives in the city of Lake Macquarie. Just the way the councils or the boroughs are divided up.
But a lot of people call Lake Macquarie Newcastle.
You still call it Newcastle, and Newcastle is right on the harbour, on the ocean.
Yeah.
So the main street of Newcastle, which is called Hunter Street, you literally keep going, you'll end up in the water, in the Tasman Sea or the South Pacific Ocean. So we start off up at a beach called Nobby's Beach, and that's quite a pretty place. And we show a fort, an old fort from the World War II, and here we were attacked by the Japanese miniature submarines. They wanted to get our BHP.
We showed them.
Which is the Broken Hill Proprietary, and that was a huge steel making plant here in Australia. They wanted to try and blow it up so that we couldn't make any more steel, and then we travel and show you where the Newcastle Pinball Company, A. Hankin and Co. were. Now, A. Hankin and Co. made 5 pinball machines in about 77, 78, and solid state ones, of course, and we show you where their factory was, and then we move along to my house, and then we come over to the goat shed, and we get Graham to talk a little bit about how he got into pinball and that sort of thing. So if anyone's interested in that little bit of history, it's there. And I think that's about all. We've been... I was interviewed in Rockford, Illinois last year. My good friend Bob Milsner lives in Rockford. He has a farm out there, and we go out there and stay. And he's got a good pinball collection, and a chap that runs the Rock River Times, I think it is. I think that's and that's all on the internet or Facebook as well. And he came round to Bob's to interview him about his pinball collection. And when he made the appointment with Bob, Bob said, "Well, you're in sort of luck. There'll be this Australian guy here from the Goat Shed." And he told him a bit about us, and the guy said, "Yeah, we'll interview them too." And Mark Gibson turned up for a visit on that day. So the whole 3 of us were in Bob's shed and got interviewed. So yeah, it's a bit of fun. You get to talk about things and pinball machines and so. And of course, everyone knows that we really only do the electromechanical
that's it.
games. That's our thing. So it's great. Very, very good. I don't know that there's anything else too exciting to talk about at the moment. Just remember to consider subscribing to our channel if you're new here. Check out our video library, it's extensive. Now, of course, you also have Joe's Classic Video.
Yeah, that's a good channel.
Channel there. Now, Ronnie Lyons goes through machines. They get a lot of viewers. They've obviously got a lot more subscribers than us. And they approach things a little differently in their videos. They go through the whole machine process, where we tend not to do that. You've got that. You've got another guy over in, he's from around the Wisconsin area there in the States. He, Mark Valuch, he does videos. He tends to do series, like he might have a particular machine and, give me like a Bally Captain Fantastic or something, and he might go through and do 3 or 4 or 5 parts of that. So he's out there. And you've got all the help on the Facebook groups. Unfortunately, there's a few too many of those now, which tends to cause confusion. But all the same members are in the same group, so you aren't going to get the same answers or some slightly different. So there's a lot of resources out there for pinball. Now, Graham mentioned to me when he first started in 1985, obviously there was no internet then, and very hard to get information. I think there was when the internet came out, they had that, I can never remember the name of it, guys like Chris Hibbler ran it. It was like a bulletin board service, and they talked about...
That was what Aussie Arcade was like, just a bulletin board.
Pinball machines and that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there wasn't much stuff about EM stuff.
Uh-huh.
But I think during the late 80s in Australia, we started bringing out some Aussie pinball mags. Well, they were only just like little A4 like things, but they had a bit of information.
Okay.
When there was nothing out there and you got a little bit, it was something.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so now it's a different world, isn't it? You know, and there's so much more information out there.
Yeah. That's why there's not really any pinball books anymore, because it defeats the purpose. You can get a picture of any pinball machine straight up on the internet nowadays. So,
well, the IPDB is a great resource. I mean, you know, you can get pictures of the games, and if you weren't sure where something may have went, you know, you may see it on that.
Yeah,
and
if you're not sure what a bumper cap is or something like that,
there's
you can have
heaps of YouTube videos on games.
Yeah, it's endless.
Yeah. Oh, Tony Chapman. Hi, Tony. We're going to see you in 3 weeks.
Yeah, mate.
I think we've got a chime set for you, haven't we? Yeah.
I think we sold it, didn't we?
Oh, did we? Oh, okay.
No.
Price just went up, Tony. A couple of beers. So, yeah, the amount of information out there is mind-boggling, really. I was pretty lucky. I never intended to get into pinball. It wasn't what I was going to do when I retired. No. Yeah, we did. You can't trust us, mate. I fell into it by accident. I won't bore you with the details. You can watch our video we mentioned about This Is Where We Live, and I think we talk about it then. I decided to get a pinball machine, and the first machine I bought was a Bally 4 million BC. And that's at that point, I think I bought that book by that Bear Kamarov. And once I started reading, I thought, well, really the only way to do this is to be near the machine while you're reading all about it. And then I met Graham purely by, it wasn't by accident. I had a friend of mine wanted a machine fixed, and I didn't know how to do it. And I said, I'm pretty good at finding out who does things, and I found out about Graham. And I met him at the Pin Fest at Caves Beach back then in 2013, just a year shy of my retiring in September 2014. And that's how it all started. So I bought this 4 million BC in 2014. Oh, this is great. I'll buy another one. And I bought a Gottlieb Magnetron, which had a really, really weird fault in it. To this day, I think the bloke that sold it to me had that fault, and he didn't know how to fix it, and it was an intermittent fault. But anyway, I got that, and then by then I'd retired, and I think I got a bit more interest, and I went and bought another machine. And just before I retired, I drove down to a place called Griffith, which is down in the Riverina area of New South Wales, and bought a Gottlieb Top Score, which used to live at De Bortoli Wines. That's a big winery here in Australia, Italian wine people. Brought that back, and it had a fault, so I came back and saw Graham, and then he said, well, we really should do a bit of work on this. So we did it all up and fixed it all up. It had a terrible back glass. It ended up with 2 back glasses in it. One back glass had better reds than the other, and the other back glass had better blue than reds.
It looks perfect.
It looked pretty good. It fitted in. So that was anyway. They're all long gone now, and that's how I developed my interest, But what I'm trying to say is I was very fortunate to have Graham mentor me how to fix the machines, and this is what we're trying to do now with this guy Kyle. As we mentioned earlier, he's not well either. He probably caught something off us.
Yeah, it's got everyone down. Even Spanky's got it.
Yeah. So we're not going to be here forever, and someone else has got to learn. So having said that, what Graham taught me, and then I was able to teach him a few things and all that, and with my knowledge in office machines and so on, and like the step units are a specialty of mine because they're just like an escapement in a typewriter. And there's not too much we can't fix on a step unit as long as we've got the parts. We've had some real doozies, and when we get really doozies, we generally put a video up to show you, Go back to that one about 5 or 6 videos in our scoring problem on the Williams. You'll see a problem with a worn-out part in a step unit.
Yep.
And
that's all it takes.
Yep. You spent ages on it. We thought it was electrical, but it turned out to be mechanical. Anyway, that's part of the fun of it all, isn't it? And like we've said many, many times, if you do get a serious problem that you can't resolve, walk away from it, even for a day or two.
Yeah, go and have a cuppa and think about it.
We go away, we walk away, and we might come back the next day, and Graham might have come down and tinkered with it because the goat shed's where he lives. And
or it could be just watching telly and I think,
you think of something,
yeah.
Or you go and we talk about it, we try something, and bang, we fix it. Now, I know everyone hasn't got that luxury, and there's a lot of guys out there trying to learn.
Yeah, which is good.
And I'll just say hello to another guy who, he's from Ohio. He's really trying hard to learn electromechanical games, and his name's Patrick Rigg. I don't think he's with us at the moment, but I'm sure he'll watch this later. He seems to watch all our videos. And don't forget, if you like our videos, give us the thumbs up.
Yep.
To tell us we've done a good job for you. Maybe make a comment. And also consider giving us either in these live broadcasts, you can give us what they call a super chat. In our YouTube presentation videos, you can give us a super thanks. As I said, we just spent 1,000 Australian dollars on parts. We're not a business, we're hobbyists. That money comes out of Graham's pocket that he doesn't get back till we sell the parts. They're parts we had to have, but any donations are gratefully accepted. Now, we've just been gifted, and I haven't told Graham this yet, but a guy over the weekend was giving away a whole pile of new lamps, and he's going to give them to us.
Oh, nice.
He's up in Queensland. He's going to post them to us, and thanks very much. I can't think of his name at the moment, but if he's watching this, your donation is gratefully accepted. It means so much to us. We're getting donated a set of plastics from David Haslam.
Yeah, that was nice of him.
thanking us for all the good work we did. And that's once again appreciated, because those plastics we'll be able to sell to somebody and go towards, we keep a little slush fund here. We don't have a bank account or anything. Graham just keeps the money.
In our petty
And
cash.
when we need to buy something, we've got the money to go and buy it.
Yeah, if we need to go down the hardware store to get some screwdrivers or whatever tools we need, we just take it out of our little cutting kit, and hopefully there's enough money there to cover it.
So, as I said, it's all the expense of being in the hobby. You just got to live with it and put up with it. We try our best to present the stuff we think that you want to see, as I mentioned. So once again, I'll just remind you again, if there's anything you want to see, let us know. Just a reminder also that our technical help is all done on our Facebook group. We don't really want to do it in the comments on YouTube. The reason is twofold. First of all, and mainly, we want other people to benefit from the answers that you're given. And the fact that on our Facebook group, when you're in the United States, we're asleep here in Australia and you're up and kicking, we have about 8 or 9 coaches, and some of those people are over your way. So I mentioned Ronnie Lyons earlier on. Ronnie is a group expert in our group. Now, isn't that cool? And he's helped people. He gave a great explanation to a guy on a Williams bonus circuit, and the guy had a wire soldered in the wrong spot. You know what I mean? And I know Ronnie and Joe, they earn money like we do. We earn money off YouTube. We earned the princely sum of $95 the other day. Now, it's not a lot of money, but once again, that $95 went towards those parts we just bought. So that's how we roll. I don't know how you roll, but it's just what we do every day except Sundays. I don't know that we've got anything else to say, Graham, have we?
I think that's about it, mate. We've got to pack our toolbox.
Okay, yep. All right, well, yeah, we will pack our toolbox. We'll get rid of this oxo. Not today.
Yeah, well, probably Wednesday, maybe Thursday. And then we set up the, what have we got there? We got a...
Oh, quick draw is going to come in.
Quick draw there, we've got a quick draw. Set that up and probably start on the head first, I think. That's what we usually do.
Yeah, so we'll probably do a video on how we do that, how we assess things, and then what we do, what we approach. And you'll see us take the insert out of the head. On a Gottlieb, it's only 14 screws generally, not many. And you've got the whole insert on your bench and you can work on it. I had a guy in the fun with Pinball the other day, like the gentleman looks, to be in his late 60s, early 70s. And he's trying to work on a game, bending over into the machine. And I suggested to him, I said, look, you need to go through a fair few things on this. Take the motorboard out, or the bottom panel, as some people call it. Put it on a bench. I mean, it's only a matter of undoing 3 Jones plugs in the head box.
You can get it out in less than 10 minutes.
Jones plug on the coin door. 3 screws on the motorboard.
The chime's unplugged.
Chime's unplugged, knocker unplugged, and disconnect the tilt, and maybe 2 screws with holding the little wire.
Yeah, unless it's a plug one.
Yeah, and out it comes. Well, we won't even... Sometimes we might put a motorboard back in and we might discover we need to do something, but we do all our motorboard work on the bench without even turning the damn thing on.
Yeah,
so
you got to.
It's so much easier, people. It really, really is. And once you've done it, you'll probably never go back the other way.
Definitely.
All right. Well, it's top of the hour now. So it's 7 o'clock over in the evening in the United States and the East Coast. I hope you people have a lovely evening. And for those of you on the West Coast, a lovely afternoon. Have a few pints for us.
Yes. And the goat.
And thank you, Bobby. We'll have a look at that in a minute and you'll be admitted very shortly. So thanks for joining us. Those of you that have joined us live, and we'll catch you all later. Bye for now.